I had missed the Pan Pacific Championship team this past summer, and I made a deal with myself that if I didn't make that team, I needed to accept a part of myself that I was running away from, and that part of it is that I'm openly gay. And I started coming out to my family and friends in August, and throughout the process they told me to write things down. It was very cathartic, and it would be good for my mental state just to kind of get the thoughts out and figure it all out. And so through the months I found that people were telling me this process was going to be amazing, that it was going to be so liberating, and I felt like garbage going through it because I was sitting on all this pain and sitting on all this anxiety with the swimming platform that I had and not doing anything about it. So I started reaching out and I started calling organizations that help gay teens, and I was getting answering machines. Yeah, answering machines, and it started becoming really frustrating. I was leaving my information, I was leaving my messages to people, and no one was getting back to me. So I called Outsports. The editor-in-chief at Outsports, his name's Sid Ziegler, and I was again expecting to get an answering machine, and someone picked up the phone, and I actually was like, "Can I put you on hold for a second?" Because I was in so much shock that he actually picked up the phone. We talked for about 20 minutes about different ways to go about it, and he said, "Do you have anything written?" And thanks to the advice of my family and friends, I had a fair amount written, and he said, "Do you mind if I read it?" So I sent it over to him, and probably about 2 minutes after I hung up with him, he called me right back and said, "I have to publish this." So I took a step back and said, let me talk to the people that I love the most and see if they're ready to take this plunge with me. So I called my parents and they said, "You have to do this for your own self. You feel like garbage just sitting on all this pain." I called Missy Franklin, who is one of my closest friends, who I love very much, and she said, "I love you no matter what. Do what you need to do. I'm going to support you through whatever goes your way." And I spoke to my teammates and they all said, "Go for it." So I released it, and it's been the most amazing experience. Outpouring of love and support. Not one negative comment. It's been amazing. Before I had come out last year, it was affecting every aspect of my training. My heart rate was double what it usually is. It typically rests in the 30s and 40s, and it was resting in the 80s and almost 90s. My cortisol levels were through the roof. Like, stress hormones were out of control. What else? I was breaking out in acne. I have clear skin. I've probably had one pimple in my entire life, and I had acne all over my face. It was really stressful because I was afraid that this announcement was going to come out not on my terms, on someone else's. And it wound up being very fearful, and it was scary. And I'm glad it came out on my terms when I wanted it to come out. I dealt with my feelings and my self-hatred in the water. So if I had a rough day dealing with my sexuality, I would just beat it out on the water. It was a healthy outlet for me to take out my aggression that I had on myself. My mother actually called me while I was going through this process, and she called me crying, and she was like, "Tom, swimming saved your life." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "If you didn't," she read the announcement that I had sent out, and she was like, "If you didn't have your sport, you probably would be dead or an alcoholic." And I have to agree with it, because how do you have that kind of internal dialogue and internal thoughts of hate and not have a healthy outlet for it? You take it out on yourself. You take it out with drugs and alcohol. So I thank God every day for my swimming career. Oh, yeah. The swimming community has been nothing but supportive. USA Swimming contacted me and asked if they could release a statement on their website. You guys came up to me and asked if you could do a statement. So it's been amazing. The community is just so open and so willing to accept change. It's a great community to be a part of.